After a moment of silence, white-haired male finally decided to speak up. All right, I guess I'll go first. My name is Shiro Aito. I like being outdoors and certain type of manga. I hate certain two people that I live with in this village, as well as everything they've ever done in my life. It's a living hell. And as for my hobbies, I guess I don't really have any. Shiro said, looking at the mail in front of him. When Naruto heard this, he clenched his fist and looked at the white hair male. He talking about me and fool, and to make matters worse, he does it right in front of us. Naruto thought to himself, looking at the white hair male. I'll go next. Hair, the green hair member of the team say, which brought him back to reality. My name is Fu. I like people that treat me other fairly, and I hate people who single others out and make them feel unwanted. My dream for the future is to have a lot of friends and for everyone to see me for who I am, not what I am. For hobbies, I guess I like training and going for walks, Fu said. As she sat down, okay, so the only leaves you, Guru said as he looked at the blonde in front of him. Oh. Oh, well. Uh, alright. Well, my name is Naruto Sumaki. I like helping others and making people feel wanted. I hate people who have no respect of others, as well as people who make others feel useless. My dream for the future is to help people realize that they're wrong for judging others because of their past or anything like they can control. As for my hobbies, I like spending time with my friends and I love eating new types of food, Naruto said, looking at the mail in front of him. Okay, those are relatively realistic goals, I guess. Well, tomorrow we're going to have a first mission exercise. I want you to not eat and meet me in a training ground. Number 14. I've also would wouldn't eat anything tomorrow if I were you, otherwise you'll have a bad time, Guru said, looking at the three figures in front of him. Naruto was about to ask him a question, but before he could, the male in front of him disappeared in cloud of smoke. As soon as he did, Shiro got up and looked at the two beside him. I'll see you two tomorrow, I guess, he said as he walked off the building. When Naruto did look at Fu, and the two of them walked out of the building. Well, that was rather unexpected, don't you think? Fu asked, looking at Naruto. Which part of the training exercise, or the part where Shiro insults us in the most obvious manner? Naruto asked, looking at the female beside him. Oh, so you noticed that too, huh? Fu asked, looking at Naruto. How could I not notice it? I was just plainy as a day who he was talking about. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out who he was talking about, Naruto said, looking at the female beside him. Oh, yeah. Wanted just to go home then? Fu asked, looking at Naruto. Yeah, might as well. After all, we need to be ready for tomorrow, Fu said, looking at the blonde beside her. Then walked to the house that the two of them shared and got ready for the following day. When the two of them decided that they had everything that they need, they walked into the room that the two of them had, and the two slowly drift into the land of dreams as they began to wonder exactly what the two of them would have to do. Then the two of them slowly fell into the darkness that was asleep. Then, like usual, Fu had woken up much earlier than Naruto had, and she went to take a shower. While she was in there, remind that she and Naruto as well as the third member of their team were supposed to meet up today. When she finally exited the bathroom, she put up her usual attire and walked to Naruto's room. She looked at the blonde and saw that, like previous day, he was sleeping peacefully, but decided that she wasn't going to be as nice today, placing her hand on his back and pushed him into the floor. With a solid thud, the blonde woke up and looked at the figure in his room. What time is it? Naruto asked, letting out a tired yawn. Almost time for us to meet up with our teammates, so get ready, fool, said. Looking at Naruto, the blonde got up and stretched. When he heard this and walked to the bathroom where he took a shower and then he came out, he then looked at Fu, who was standing by the door waiting for him. Alright, you ready to go? Fu asked, looking at the blonde in front of her. When she did, she received a nod of the head. The two began to walk down the street and arrived the fence of the area. When they did, the two of them jumped over the fence and began to walk into the field. Once they got there, they saw the field that the white haired male was already there waiting for them. The two slowly walked over to him, and when they were about to foot away, Shiro got a little nervous. Then they looked at the two of them. The white hair man began only to have gotten cut off by the sound and heard two were in front of him. Jumped to the side and looked at where they were standing, only to see that they were several kunais in the ground where they were standing. The three of them pulled out a kunai and looked around. When they did, they saw a figure appear in front of them. The figure, however, made both Naruto and Fu very nervous. This figure was wearing a white mask that looked like a dog and had a leaf village symbol on the forehead. I would like for the three of you to come with me, he said, looking at them. No way, Naruto said, looking at the male figure in front of him. Well, isn't really giving you a choice, the cloak figure said as he ran forward, and the three of them that were in front of him also ran towards Shiro. Was the first of them three to attack by throwing a kunai at the male. The male easily cut it and returned it to the white hair male. Shiro jumped out of the way and looked at the male that Fu and Naruto were now locked in close combat with. The two of them tried to repeat to land hits on him, but never could. However, the fight was short-lived as the masked figure jumped back slightly, causing two figures in front of him to stop. When they did, he struck the back of their neck rather forcefully, and the two of them hit the ground. Shiro looked at the figure that was in front of him and said, now it's your turn, the masked figure said, looking at him. Shiro threw his kunai on the ground and looked at the figure in front of him. I give up, Shiro said, looking at him. Oh, why the sudden change of mind? The cloak figure asked, looking at the white hair male in front of him. The three of us all had the chance of beating you, but seeing as it just me, now I know for a fact I can't beat you. It'd be rather to just give up now. Instead instead of fighting you, there no be no point in it, Shiro said, looking at the male in front of him. I see, a wise choice, the cloaked figure said as he disappeared, but foolish. No less, Shiro heard the male say behind him, and then he felt a heavy pressure on his back, on his neck, and him to fall to the ground and watch as he whirled slowly fade to nothingness. When Shio finally woke up and saw that Naruto and Fu were also awake, he tried to move, But when he did, he found his arms tied behind his back and his feet both tied together. Shiro tried to move once again. He felt both tired together. Shiro tried to move again, but he felt someone more resistant struggling. That something was holding the rope that was on his feet and the rope that was surrounding his hand together. When he looked back over to Naruto and Fu, he saw that they were in the prison he was in. So he got up too. Naruto asked, looking at Shiro. Something like that, yeah, Shiro said, looking at the two in front of him. Well, I guess this is the end of for the team 12, man. To think we didn't even get to have our first mission. Not exactly how to picture dying, Shiro said, looking at them. However, when he said this, he noticed that neither of them said anything back, cause him to sigh after 4 more minutes of silence had passed. Shiro finally decided to speak up once again. It's not you, he said, a quiet voice. What? Naruto asked, looking at the white haired male in front of him. The two people in the village I hate is not you two, Shiro said, looking at the ground. When I was walking home yesterday, I saw the villagers were staring at the two of you like you had no plug or something. I had never actually seen the demon or of this village and the demon lover of the village. So I had no idea it was the two of you. So after I thought about it, I probably sound like the two people I hated were the two of you, Shiro said, looking at them. Well, then, if it's not us, then who is it? Fu asked, looking at the white hair male. Believe it or not, it's my parents, Shiro said, looking at them. When he said this, however, Naruto and Fu grinned in confusion, looked at their face, and Shiro decided to clarify what he meant. My name is Shiro Ito, as it the heir to the Ito company. Shiro said, looking at them. I thought that name sounded familiar, although that doesn't explain why you hate your family, Fu said, looking at the male in front of her. To put it simply, they didn't even know I existed. Being the heir of the company, like the Ito Corporation, it's just too much to handle. Every day they expect more and more of me. And every time I mess up on every the small details, they shun me. Then came the day I told them I want to become a ninja and the things just look even worse. Turn I decided for a while that they were right and I become a ninja would be the waste of time, Shio said, looking at them. So what happened for you to change your mind? Naruto asked, looking at them. I don't know. Maybe I was tired of being ignored, or maybe I just didn't want to responsibility for such a big company. But I snapped and left. After the day I left, the completely shunned me and cut up me off according to the letter that they always send me. I'm not even there will be anymore. They're going to give anything they own to a business partner that they have, Shiro said, looking at them. I still don't understand why. Apologize though, Fu said, looking at the white haired male in front of her. I know what it's like to be unappreciated by those who you care about, even though you two don't care. I'm making a new what if. What if Naruto X Tsubaki from Soul Eater?